So as usual, when I think about Splatoon, I think about one thing. That's multiplayer, ranked, turf war, Splatfest, the competitive grind basically. That's what I've always connected Splatoon to. But Splatoon Raiders is doing something completely different. This isn't another ranked heavy release. This is a single player focused spin-off built around exploration, PvE, and a totally different kind of Splatoon experience. And honestly, I think this might be the most important Splatoon game Nintendo has made. And in my opinion, it might be the riskiest. Because if this works, I think it changes what Splatoon can be forever. And if it doesn't, it probably tells Nintendo people only care about PvP. That's why I think this matters way more than people realize. So let's talk about it. As many of you know, we finally got a release date, which is on July 23rd, 2026. But honestly, for me, one of the biggest reveals wasn't even the date. It was the price. $50 digital and $60 for those that like to collect physical. That's a big deal. When Nintendo prices something like that, I pay attention because we had a whole conversation about Zelda and how it was a $70 title. We had the conversations around Mario Kart World and how that was an $80 game. And this is $50. And I think that helps a lot, but I also have questions about why. And to me, that lower price makes this way easier for casual players to jump in, especially people who love Splatoon's world, but don't care about sweating in ranked every day. And also those that are trying to get a new Switch and want a game that they can add on top of it. And let's be real, that's a very big group of people. But it also made me ask the obvious question: how much content is actually there? Because when Nintendo prices something lower, I instantly start wondering if the game is maybe a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna play that at this point right now. But gameplay wise, this really looks like an expanded Salmon Run. Honestly, the second I saw the trailer, my thought was, Nintendo really looked at Salmon Run and said, what if we made a full game around this? And honestly, it makes perfect sense to me, and especially with what they did in Splatoon 3, because the Salmon Run focus was massive. I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Nintendo clearly believed in that mode. It was one of the strongest parts of the game, and for a lot of players, it was their favorite part. Boss fights, exploration, PvE progression, survival elements, it feels like Salmon Run evolved into its own thing. And when I saw the axe, first of all, I was like, yeah, I think they might be doing something here. It also made me wonder, was some of this originally planned as bigger Salmon Run content? You know, you always have to wonder that when it comes to Nintendo. Was some of it cut content that became its own game? Because to me, it feels very natural. This is clearly not Splatoon 4, of course. This feels like Nintendo testing if Splatoon can stand on its own without PvP, carrying everything. And that's completely different from what we've known in the past. I think a lot of people are looking at this like it's just some side game, but personally, I think it's way bigger than that. This is Nintendo. They thrive off single player experiences. That's literally what they do best. Zelda, Mario, Metroid, even Pokemon. For most people, it's still a single player experience. Splatoon has always been the weird one because PvP drives everything. But if I'm being honest, PvP also pushes a lot of people away. I've seen this for years. I was one of them for years. People love Splatoon's world, the music, the characters, the style. But the second rank gets involved, they check out. They don't want to get rolled in X battles. They don't want rank anxiety. They don't want the pressure. They just want to enjoy the world. And honestly, I think casual communities have been asking for this for a very long time, and Raiders is going to give them that element. It creates a completely new outlet where people can stay in the Splatoon world without PvP being the main focus. To me, that's huge. And yes, Splatoon has had strong single player content before. We all love Octo expansion. I absolutely enjoyed Side Order, and while the Splatoon stories that came along with Splatoon 1, 2, and 3, they were okay. The first one was fun. The second one was just like, why are we doing this again? And the third one expanded a little bit more. But I have to admit, those were always side content. I buy Splatoon for multiplayer. The story mode is just there. It's a bonus. That's about it for me personally. And for many others. Raiders feels like the first time Nintendo is saying the PvE experience itself is the main reason to buy this game. That's a huge difference because now they're not asking, do players like Splatoon story modes? They're asking, can a single player Splatoon carry an entire game? And to me, that's a way bigger test. The $50 price tag helps that a lot. It makes trying this feel way less risky. It feels easier to justify, especially for casual players who aren't trying to grind 500 hours. If this works, I think Splatoon stops being Nintendo's multiplayer shooter and becomes a bigger franchise. It's already big, but you understand what I mean. More stories, more spin-offs, more co-op, more ways to play. That's a really big deal. And honestly, I think it gives people way more hope for where Splatoon can go and the future. That said, I still have real concerns. The biggest one for me is depth. Single player games live and die by whether people actually want to stay. And as someone who plays ranked, I completely get why some people are skeptical. Competitive players want depth, not just a cool trailer. If Raiders ends up being short, shallow, or something people finish in a weekend and forget, that's a problem because people are always going to compare this to ranked. Ranked has endless replayability. A single player game has to earn that. Another issue for me is perception. If people just look at this and go, this is just an expensive Salmon Run, that conversation turns nasty fast. And we already know how YouTube does. I'm gonna be honest here. We all know the conversations around Nintendo Online. Even if the game is actually good, if players feel like this should have been DLC instead of a full release, that becomes the entire conversation. And I hope that doesn't happen. And I think that Nintendo needs to avoid that because hype disappears fast when people feel like they're overpaying. That's where the $50 price helps, in my opinion. But it also creates expectations. People are going to ask, is this worth it? And Nintendo needs a strong answer. Honestly, I'm a Splatoon stan. If this game has replayability, I'll probably be playing it for a long time. But that's the key for me. It needs replayability. It can't just be something I beat once and forget. I think a lot of players feel the same way. Personally, I think Raiders succeeds if Nintendo nails one thing: depth. Not graphics, not hype, not nostalgia. All those are all great things, by the way, but depth. And honestly, I think they have a real shot. There's literally an axe. Like, I saw the axe and I was like, an axe, like it's almost the same feeling as like a chainsaw being in the game. So I just want to see where they go with this because that tells me that they understand what players want and they want variety and the ability to have different builds, different play styles. Those things matter. And if there's one thing I've always felt Splatoon does well, it's options. Weapons, enemy variety, stages, movement, different ways to approach fights. That freedom is what makes Splatoon feel like Splatoon. That's part of why I keep coming back to it. I like having choices. I like feeling like I can approach the game differently depending on how I want to play. If Raiders brings that same philosophy into PvE with strong progression, real build variety, meaningful upgrades, and reasons to experiment, I think this could be huge. Not just good, actually important for the future of the franchise. I don't think this replaces normal Splatoon. I don't think it should, but I do think this opens the door for something bigger. A version of Splatoon where competitive players still get their space and casual players finally get theirs too. And honestly, I actually think this game does well. Not because hardcore ranked players carry it, but because casual Splatoon players have been waiting for something like this for years. That's why I think Splatoon Raiders might actually change Splatoon forever. And honestly, That's why I'm excited for it. But what do you think? Is Splatoon Raiders exactly what the series needed, or does it risk feeling like an expanded Salmon Run for $50? Would you buy this day one? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Have an amazing day. Peace out.